Hello everyone, this is Pooka and welcome to my first Pokemon TCG online video with the brand new set XY Phantom Forces. We have all sorts of new toys to play with, and I'm going to get to the one that everybody's going to love the most. This is my favorite concept from the new set, Night March. Now this is just something new they came up with. I'm not sure how competitive it's going to be, but we're going to run with it and see if we can have some fun. So, Night March is an attack 20 times the number of Pokemon in your discard pile that have the Night March attack. So, of course, there are several of these Pokemon that have Night March, and our goal is going to be get them in the discard pile so we can do lots of damage. Now, believe it or not, Joltik is actually going to be a pretty fearsome attacker. If we can get enough Night Marchers in the discard pile, Joltik for just 2 colorless energy can do a lot of damage. It could do, let's see, we have 12 potential Night March Pokemon. If we get 11 of those in the discard, we could do 220 damage. We probably won't need to do that very often, but it's a possibility. And then, of course, Muscle Band or Silver Bangle can allow us to do even more damage. So, Joltik is our first Night March Pokemon. The second one is actually Pumpkaboo. This one costs 3 energy, so it has double the HP that the poor 30 HP Joltik has, so I guess it costs 1 more for Night March. And then we also have Lampent, so it's actually costs a Psychic and 2 colors. I'm not sure what the logic was on this one. The Stage 1 Pokemon costs a Psychic energy, but hey, it is what it is. Now, we aren't going to be running any Litwick, we aren't going to be running any Chandelure, just the Lampent, because we want to discard it for Night March. Now, our main attackers, you can use Joltik, you can use Pumpkaboo. We're also going to use Mew EX. So Mew has the versatile ability. You can use the attack of any Pokemon in play. So what we're going to do is get a Mew out there, get this Dimension Valley, which makes all your Psychic Pokemon's attacks cost 1 less. And then all of a sudden, your Mew EX can copy Joltik's Night March for just 1 energy. So it's kind of cool. Not only do you not have to use a Night March Pokemon to attack, you can do it for 1 energy, and that's pretty sweet if you ask me. So this entire deck is going to be try to get as many Night March Pokemon in the discard pile as quickly as possible, and then attack with one of your Pokemon. We're never going to attack with Lampent since we don't run any Litwick. We can attack with Pumpkaboo, Joltik, and Mew. Mew and Joltik are going to be your attackers most of the time. Now, since we do have the 30 HP Joltik, we're also going to run Mr. Mime to block any bench damage from things like Landorus EX, Kyurem, Darkrai EX, Genesect EX. Since 30 HP, really little, block and bench damage can save us a prize pretty frequently. And we're also going to have a Jirachi EX, just stellar guidance to search for a supporter card. Pretty good in my book. Okay, now the number 1 tool we gained to get these Pokemon in the discard pile is Battle Compressor. You get to search your deck for up to 3 cards and discard them. That's actually really cool. I don't think we've had anything quite like this in the Pokemon TCG before. But basically, if you drop down a Battle Compressor, you search for 3 Night March Pokemon and you get them in the discard pile. And boom, instant offense. So for Battle Compressor, pretty sweet. So of course, we can also play Ultra Ball. This can discard the Night March Pokemon from our hand and then search for a Pokemon. So we're going to play 4 Ultra Ball as well. And then, of course, we have Professor Juniper. Discard our hand. Again, discard any Night March Pokemon we may have in our hand. And then 1 Computer Search, same concept, can also search for a Pokemon. Or search for any card. Just another great card. That's your A-Spec card for this deck. So this is going to be all about speed, right? Get those Pokemon in the discard. Max out on these cards like Battle Compressor, Ultra Ball, get a Computer Search, get 4 Juniper, and then we're also going to run 4 Bicycles just to try to draw through our deck as quickly as possible. And that's really it. Night March to victory. All right? Now, our supporters are going to look a little strange for this deck. We do the 4 Professor Juniper, the 4 Bicycle. We're going to run 4 N as well. Just a great turn 1 supporter, can get you 6 cards in the first turn, and that's what we need to do. We need to draw cards consistently in the opening turns of the game, and that's why we're just running these cards. We're also going to run 2 VS Seeker, one of my favorite cards from this set. It is a reprint from long ago. Get a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. So this will allow us to get back another Juniper, and if we need to, Multi-Juniper, I would say, or Lysander. So this is just, Lysander, grab a Pokemon off their bench, bring it active. VS Seeker allows us to use Lysander multiple times, which is really cool in my book. Alright, we also have 3 Muscle Band. It just adds 20 to the attack, makes it a little easier sometimes to get knockouts. We have a couple Escape Rope just for some switching cards. Startling Megaphone because Garbodor shuts down Mew, and Mew is a pretty valuable attacker in this deck. And then we also have 1 Town Map. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but if we have too many Night March Pokemon in the prizes, that can be a very big deal. So we need to see, if we have like 2 or 3 Pokemon prized, we need Town Map to be able to dig those out immediately. This may be a luxury card in this kind of a deck, but figured I'd throw it in here. Now, there are many, many weaknesses to this deck. Many of them. Number 1 is going to be Pyroar, I guess. Don't have any evolutions in here. Number 2, Garbodor is a pretty big pain. Number 3, actually, this should be number 1, Seismitoad EX. If they get a quick Quaking Punch off against you, shuts down most of this deck. No item cards means, oh boy, we can't play any of the things that make our deck function. So, speed is essential for this deck. Another thing that could be problematic for this deck is Lysander's trump card. Shuffling in our discard pile back into the deck is bad. There go all our Night March Pokemon back into the deck. Fortunately, if that does happen, Battle Compressor is an easy way to get those cards back into the discard. So, Lysander's trump card isn't exactly an auto loss by any means, but if someone plays a Lysander's trump card and uses Seismitoad to shut off our item cards, well, then we're probably going to scoop it up, and we're going to lose that game. There are many different ways to play this deck, actually. You can use the new Gourgeist, which can get 200 HP if it has a Grass Energy on it. Combine that with Celebi EX to use Pumpkaboo's attack. That is another way to use this deck, but I'm just going to go with the straightforward Night March. Try to get quick knockouts. Alright, so let's see the Night March deck in action and see what we can do on Pokemon TCG Online. Of course, Phantom Force is now available. Another cool update, expanded format now available on Pokemon TCG Online, so I can start getting some expanded matchups on here. And, yeah, I should have plenty of material to work with. We'll have lots of videos coming out. Brand new set, brand new expanded option. Everything is beautiful. Alright, so we are going to start off with Mew EX here in this game. Seems like a pretty decent start here. Got a Joltik and a Mr. Mime going up against a Virizion Genesect deck. I got the Joltik, and I got a Mew in the active spot. I'm just going to attach to the Joltik on the bench. Maybe attaching to the active would have been a little better. I don't know. I'm always worried about Enhanced Hammer. I'm also worried about Mewtwo EX. You know, Mew is your highest HP Pokemon, but it's still only 120 HP. Attaching any energy to it means a Mewtwo EX X-Ball can knock it out. And I never know if someone's playing that, so I'm always paranoid of putting an energy on my active Mew on the first turn. But, oh well. Alright, so, didn't get any Battle Compressor, didn't get any Ultra Ball, didn't get any Night March Pokemon into the discard pile, didn't get much of anything on that first turn. We did have a supporter, so that is a good thing. And we'll see what happens from here. We see the Hypno Toxic Laser from my opponent in the Verbank City Gym. Pretty annoying right there. Gonna poison me, and we just see the energy and the muscle band and the pass from my opponent. So not an overwhelmingly strong turn for my opponent, but he got the energy down. That's really all Virizion Genesect wants. And that Hypnotoxic Laser is going to be pretty annoying as well. I'm going to go with the Professor Juniper and not get a whole lot of good stuff. Let's be completely honest, that was not a great 7 cards. No battle compressor still. No bicycles to work with. Boy, this is not a good start for this deck. Really need to be hitting it off on all cylinders. Maybe we need to add some roller skates or something to this deck. Skate our way to some more cards. I don't know what's going on here. Not finding the right stuff. Now, if I leave the Mew active and just attack with like Gnaw or something like that, Mew is going to get knocked out by Emerald Slash. That's not going to be pretty. If I retreat into Joltik and Night March, I'm not doing a whole lot of damage. I'm going to get knocked out. Also doesn't seem like a great idea. I'm going to play the town map since I know there aren't, well, I don't know if I knew, but might as well just play it in case of an N or something. We can see there are no Night March Pokemon prized, but this will be helpful in the future if we do take prizes. You can pick that VS Seeker out and leave the Ultra Balls there because we don't want them anymore. Okay, Emerald Slash from the opponent, and now we got some stuff to work with. Gonna bench the Pumpkaboo. We drew the Bicycle for the turn. Drop the Muscle Band on the active, and we'll get the Bicycle for 1. And alright, that's beautiful. Got the VS Seeker. And that's going to turn into the Professor Juniper and a fresh hand of 7 cards. And now maybe we can get some battle compressors, some good stuff, get it all going, and, start to hit our stride here. We have 3 Night March Pokemon in the discard pile right now. We will need 8 plus the Muscle Band to get a knockout. I do have the computer search. We can discard Pumpkaboo, and an N, and go right for the battle compressor. Let's just go all in, try to find another battle compressor this turn, and get a knockout on this Virizion EX. How huge would that be? Get a knockout on the Virizion with a Night March on turn 3. That would be beautiful. Let's discard this 2 Lampet. That's always going to be your first target. You can never use those. They're always going to hit the discard pile as quickly as possible. Throw out the Dimension Valley, and we can Bicycle for 2. 1 more Battle Compressor will get us a knockout. But I don't see anything that compresses Battle in my hand, so we're going to have to do the painful Night March for 160 damage. Oh, that is brutal. I wish we could have done just 10 extra damage. Oh well. We at least set up this Virizion EX to be knocked out on the following turn, I suppose. So it's not all bad news, but that is pretty frustrating to be that close to a knockout and then just not get a knockout. 1-hit knockouts are what this deck needs. If you're getting 2-hit knockouts, your Pokemon are so weak that they're just going to get knocked out every turn, and you're not going to be able to keep up. So you need to get those 1-hit knockouts. Being 10 short, super duper painful. But again, we have not drawn particularly well this game. Got a nice explosive turn there, but just a little bit short. So we do see the Virbank and the Hypnotoxic Laser from my opponent. We see the Emerald Slash. That is going to knock out Mew EX, and more energy go into play for my opponent. And it's getting kind of scary. I'm now down 2 prizes. But the positive thing here is I will probably get 1-hit knockouts for the rest of the game. And that Battle Compressor pretty much guarantees that I'll be able to get another Night March Pokemon in there. And then if Joltik goes down, then there's another Night March Pokemon in there, which means my damage goes up, and that's good. So let's go ahead and search, discard a Joltik, and then we're actually just going to discard a bunch of junk cards. This is one of the cool aspects of Battle Compressor. It really thins out your deck. We're actually just going to discard another Battle Compressor. We don't need that anymore. We don't need an Ultra Ball anymore. We don't want to draw those cards. So we'll get the last Joltik we need in the discard pile. And I'm very afraid of Enhanced Hammer, so I don't want to put down that Psychic Energy just yet. And yeah, we'll see we're drawing Battle Compressor and Ultra Ball, stuff we don't need. I'm actually running out of like garbage cards to get rid of. So I don't really want to play another one. Maybe I could play a Battle Compressor, but well. I think I'll just Night March and take the knockout. Maybe I should have just discarded more stuff. I don't know. Well, let's just go with the Night March. That's fine with me. Now we're doing 160. It's always a struggle on how much is too much. How many resources can we get rid of without it being too many? But I am going to Night March for the knockout, and we're going to grab a VS Seeker and the Dimension Valley. Out of the prizes seems like a good idea to me. Get the Dimension Valley to make Mew's attack cheaper, and then a VS Seeker. In case I get End, I will have another supporter to draw into. Pretty good. Town map helping us out, showing us the way, giving us some guidance. And yeah, from here, it's going to be a race. Who will take their 4 prizes first? My opponent, of course, gets the first attack, but has the downside of using Pokemon EX. Whereas I will not put down a Pokemon EX for the rest of the game. I have that Mew, it'll give up 2 prizes, but my opponent will have to attack 3 times to win the game. And I might only have to attack 2 times to win the game. And that adds up to me winning. Alright, so I get the Joltik knocked out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Pokemon. There's a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 Night Marchers. 9 Night Marchers in the discard pile. And now I have to decide, do I want to send out Pumpkaboo and try to draw the Dimension Valley, or just send out Mew and get the guaranteed knockout? I do have another DC left besides the one in my hand, so I could very easily Night March next turn. I just need to draw that last double colorless. And, I just want to like triple, quadruple count how many Night March Pokemon I have in the discard pile. Don't want to have an embarrassing situation where I don't do enough damage. Let's go with an Ultra Ball for a Joltik. And you can see my deck is very thin at this point. Got the Dimension Valley and stuff in there. Got lots of supporters to work with. Gonna drop down. Actually, I should not drop the DC on the Mew. I should definitely put it on Joltik. Keep my options open. Worst case scenario, I retreat and attack with the Joltik. Best case, I draw Dimension Valley and attack with Mew. And then I have dual threats going. So let's go ahead with the Juniper. And look at that, Dimension Valley in my hand. Got a second one even. And we can drop a Muscle Band just to get rid of it. I don't actually need Muscle Band anymore. I'm actually doing that much damage. We are getting one-hit knockouts for a single energy on a Mew EX. How cool is this? Get the Versatile with that Dimension Valley in play. Night March, 1 energy. 1 single energy. 180 damage. That just happened. Let it sink in. For a single psychic energy, it could have been an energy of any type, I just knocked out a Pokemon EX in 1 hit. That is insane. So you can see the power of Night March if you actually do get fully set up. We do see my opponent playing an N here. With an energy, can certainly get a knockout on the Mew. But no energy. Even with a knockout on the Mew, Joltik would have come up for the Night March for the game. And look at that. Night March takes down Virizion Genesect. Wow. You can see the raw strength of this deck if it happens to get set up. We even had a slow start and we still managed to overcome Virizion Genesect, which has been one of the top tier decks for a very long time. So I don't know. Night March, does it have potential? What do you guys think? I think it's a lot of fun at the very least. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will certainly have some more for you soon. I am Pooka from the Top Cut, and I will see you guys next time.